very good. Chris,
Yo.
I'm just writing a script for Plus products, and I looked them up, and I was just wondering what like the highlights of the company were, because it looks like the stock's sliding a bit.
So the stock is sliding a lot.
Yeah.
That's more a case of, so like if you look at the stock chart over the last year, which most people do, it's a big old ramp downwards. If you look at it over the last 3 months, it's still a ramp downwards.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks, it's still a ramp downwards. So you can look at that in one of two ways. One, if I invest in this, it's going to continue to go downwards. Or two, if this thing does have some life to it and it's a little bit oversold, is this the time that I should get in nice and cheap? I think that what Plus has that no one else has is, one, they're in the biggest market for weed, California.
Right.
And Nevada. Two, they're in the edible space, which to me is where I want to be, because, you know, there's let's say 10% of people want to smoke weed. 90% of people either want to eat it or drink it or rub it on their sore elbow. Or so the edible space to me is a much more attractive space because my grandmother can use it, my girlfriend can use it, I can use it, and have a consistent, reliable dose. So the question then becomes, which one am I going to use? And if you look at the Plus products, they look amazing. Like they look like really adult candy.
Yeah.
So if you look at it, it's a great product. The design of it is attractive for somebody who doesn't want necessarily weed leaves all over the product that they're sticking in their Shoppers Drug Mart bag. The reviews of the product are great. The ongoing sales are good. The problem is that they came out with a massive valuation that was a little bit difficult to maintain. Everyone else was doing the same thing at the time, so no one really paid much attention. But as the market has repriced, Plus took it in the back of the head. So now they're at a much more attractive valuation. They've made a move towards the CBD market, away from necessarily getting people stoned with gummies, which opens up the entire United States to them. They're very much attractive to a demographic that isn't the traditional weed demographic, which is women, people of a certain age. And you know, if you're going to a party and you're going to pull out some edibles, do you want Uncle Fester's Weed Shack brand, or do you want a polished, colorful,
like a nice package,
right? Yeah. So I look at the product and I think it's amazing. I've spoken to the people behind it. I know they know what they're doing. They've come from large tech firms previously, and they came out of the blocks with the highest rated edibles product in the biggest market for edibles. Now, how do you not make money doing that? You spend too much money setting up a much bigger factory than you probably had reason to need. That was their mistake early on. So their expenses are higher than they should be. They're expanding into these other product lines, and that should take care of that, and allowing themselves to build products that can go over into other states, which is also going to take care of that. So I think that you look at their stock chart and say, I don't want to invest in this because it looks like it's a downward trend. You really got to look beyond the stock chart and say, is the market following itself in this instance? Do I want to be the person who gets in there and says, actually this valuation, and let me just pull it up, how much this actually is. So it's a $24 million market cap. For the revenue that they do and for the market they're in and the position they hold, I think it's an attractive potential acquisition for a company with much larger means. They don't seem like they're desperate to get money now or else. They just seem like they've lost the flavor of the general retail investor market. Will they get that back is the big question, right? So I just think that if I look through their news releases, there's a lot of talk of reducing costs. But there's also one piece of news I found where 3 months ago, the principals of the company agreed to waive their salaries in return for stock options in the company. Now, for me, I'd much rather cash. Yeah. Unless I know that the company's doing things that are going to be worth a lot more in 6 months or a year than they are right now. Okay. So if they're putting their own salaries into options, not even free stock, but like the option to buy stock at the low price that it's at right now for a time into the future, I think that's a really interesting nod, a tell even, as to what they think of their own company.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much.
No worries.
That's interesting.